You also briefly mentioned there, and also very briefly in the talked about game rentals. And is that still in piloting, or is that going to be like the full game and you get to play it for 2 weeks for half the price, for example?
It'll be at a lower price, obviously, because it's a rental and so forth. And in determining what that exact amount will be, that's going to be fundamentally up to the publisher or the showroom and so forth about what that particular aspect. But rentals is something that is important to us. And again, it's about giving the consumer this freedom, this fundamental freedom.
Now, the other area of cost is in the development of the titles.
Yes.
And certainly when you look at the development costs of things like the PSP, the PS3, the Wii, the DS, these development costs can be incredibly high. What would you say is the sort of average, if a developer came up and said, roughly how much will it cost me to develop an N-Gage title for Ovi? What sort of ballpark figure would you give them as a development cost?
Well, again, I think that's something extremely difficult because it's, again, on a title-by-title nature. I think one of the things that I just want to really emphasise is that why we've spent so much effort over the past years developing this whole platform is to alleviate the concerns and pains that developers have
do you
about
think it will be
devices.
an order of magnitude less than developing for example, the PSP?
Well, I don't know how much it costs to develop for a PSP.
I could call a number out now and try and get you to pin down.
Exactly, but like, what?
Are we talking hundreds of thousands or millions?
What I can tell you fundamentally is that the titles that we're looking for N-Gage are fundamentally more rich in media experience than you would find in Java titles, for instance, and so forth. But the thing that we are emphasizing is the fact that you're developing one SKU, and that with that one SKU, it's working across all the N-Gage compatible devices. And that's such a powerful message to the developer. And because our N-Gage platform is C++, that gives the opportunity for video game developers, which are not in mobile, to maybe look at some of the titles that they've created for maybe PC or for console and so forth, to look at, okay, is there an interest for us to actually take that knowledge, those assets, and then bring them to N-Gage as well? And that's the power that we're delivering.
Where does the Java Snap system fit into all of this?
Well, like, Snap is our business offering, fundamentally, where we are actually targeting mass market. So it's basically community for mass market handsets for feature phones like Series 40. And so basically that's bringing community elements into Java titles, basically using the Snap infrastructure. And so it's not a consumer brand, which is something that I want to emphasize. N-Gage is a consumer brand. Snap is more a business-to-business offering, and it's targeting mass market handsets.
And the other question is, there's a lot of interaction in the new N-Gage platform between the customer and Nokia directly. What sort of feedback have you had from the networks on this?
As in the operators?
Yes.
Or
Yeah, the network operators.
Okay, we've been obviously talking to all the operators out there about our sort of services, and as was indicated in the press conference today, that we're in discussions with them very much about the various activities that we're doing with our devices and also with our services. When it comes to the actual N-Gage offering here, we've been talking to several of them, and they've been quite excited about what actually can be possible with our showroom activity. So, for instance, one of the things that we're able to look at, and again we're looking at the flexibility of our whole solution, is that we can maybe have a Nokia showroom, or we could have an operator showroom in terms of the games that are available. Obviously there's also operator billing, and also the fact that we're having data traffic occurring. This is actually something which will help consumers actually understand more about what's possible with these powerful devices in terms of more than just gaming, but other sorts of data services which might be revenue generating for operators as well. So it's been quite positive.
So it's possible then for operators to get a rev share of the platform sales for an end device that they sell?
I'm not going to go into details about those sorts
But it is possible?
Fundamentally, what we're looking at is typical revenue share relationships with publishers in the content that's getting developed, and then on the operator side, again, it boils down to a case-by-case basis what the situation is.
And now the other thing, and I had this from a couple of the N-Gage people. They were actually a couple of the N-Gage people. No, sorry, a couple of the N-Gage people who have N-Gages, not the N-Gage, not the people you keep in the basement that are squirreling away doing these some more levels for K-Tan. Please, that's it. Is K-Tan coming out for this?
Is it being
comment. something? If I put the mic off, will you tell me? Mic's going off, folks. Still can't tell you, but yeah, that's good news. No, seriously. We had some of the N-Gage fans go, they were really disappointed in the N-Gage store principle because they couldn't collect the boxes anymore. I mean, they took great pleasure in collecting all the boxes, building up a shelf full of all the titles and everything, and it's been taken away from them.
As in actually an
actual physical product,
boxes,
yeah.
If there's a partner that wants to actually do retail boxes and so forth, that's a flexibility that we can offer. We can do side loading, we can do over the air through the PC, we can do all these sorts of aspects. And again, a case by case, if a retailer says, okay, we want to do this, we'll listen.
And if we move briefly to the hardware, I mean, there's going to be pictures and videos all over the internet, including, I mean, we've already got some good video of the N81, which is, as you say, the spearhead. Nice word there. The only thing is, I mean, was there a decision to consciously not do something that looked like a traditional gaming device, like a DS or the N-Gage QD or anything like that?
I think fundamentally, when it comes to actual our form factors and so forth, that's a design decision that's made according to all our various research and segmentations that we do. So when it comes to consumers that want more video type form factors, that's what we develop. And so fundamentally what we're coming out with, the N81, is something which is very targeted to people that like music, but also people that actually enjoy gaming as well, and with the special gaming keys as well.
Until I actually sit down and do a 3-hour gaming session, I'm not going to know. But it's a very small device, but it's still got quite a bit of weight in it. I mean, and you were showing me earlier that it's actually a steel sliding mechanism that you've used.
It's probably the memory which is adding the weight in there. 8 gigabytes is quite significant.
Final question then. It's going to be the sort of release dates, the time scales. Are we going to see this in time for Christmas?
November 2007.
November 1st, November 30th. I mean, are you just saying November? No, I'm not going to. He's good at this, isn't he? Which territories then? We're looking at November. Is it worldwide launch? Is it European, Eurasia, America?
It's a global solution that we have. So fundamentally, November 2007, N-Gage. And I recommend people to go to N-Gage.com if they got N73s and so forth, and basically see when they can get the application down to their phone and start participating.
You won't need new hardware. For example, I've got an N95 here. You can just grab the client and bring it down.
And one of the things I want to emphasize is that this is different to a console launch. In console launch, people are outside queuing and everything like that. When we go live, we'll have millions of N-Gage compatible devices already on the market.
Don't you think it's a bit sneaky that you spent the last year, seeding 30 million games devices out there and not telling anybody they've got a games device?
Sneaky?
Yeah.
Well, no, not at all. That's not one of our core values. It's about connecting people, and we're doing it through play.
Oh, there we go. Dr. Mark Ollila there, giving us a fundamental view of the new N-Gage platform. Mark, thanks very much for your time.
It's been a pleasure.
And I'm sure we'll catch up near the launch with another podcast. It's Ewan Spence here, as always, for allaboutSymbian.com. Comments are always welcome back on the website, /media for the actual podcast, or hit it onto the news items, or into the forums, or even allaboutengage.com. You've been listening to the All About Symbian podcast, www.allaboutsymbian.com. Copyright 2007.